beginning of the year, I went to Atlanta to visit the College Football Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame used to be in Indiana until they moved it to downtown Atlanta to give it new life. The purpose of this new Hall of Fame was to take everything people knew about Hall of Fames and blow it up. When I got to the foyer, or as the hall called it, the quad, I was given an RFID lanyard, or a radio frequency identification lanyard, and I was asked to sign in. Now, signing in required me to do two things. It asked for my full name, and it asked what college football team I supported. The reason why they ask you this is so that you can receive school-specific content and play as a representative of your school throughout your visit to the museum. I'll go into a little bit more detail about what this entails a little bit later on. When I selected Notre Dame as the college I supported, one of the staff members at the kiosk directed my attention to this wall. That wall, she explained, features 760 helmets from all the Division 1, 2 and 3 college football programs, as well as all of the NAIA college football programs. The cool thing about this wall of helmets, though, is that when you select what football team you support, the helmet lights up so you can see where it is. Now just note how this sign-in process, where you enter your name and select a team, has distinct similarities to how someone would sign in and begin a video game. From there, it was onto the indoor playing field. This 45-yard field, which spanned 15,000 square feet, features stations where kids could put themselves to the test and kick a field goal, throw like a quarterback into a netting, and take on the obstacle course. This in itself isn't really an example of gamification, but they're fun and they really set the tone for what we can expect for the main portion of the museum. The second floor was a little bit more information heavy. As soon as you get to the top of the stairs, you're greeted by what the hall calls the Why We Love College Football Gallery. This gallery is a 52-foot long interactive wall that you can navigate through hordes of information. A chip reader in the wall reads the signal sent out by your lanyard so that it knows who you are, welcomes you to the exhibit with on-screen text, and calls up your team's traditions, highlights, and pictures. Once you're finished up here, you'll lead to my favourite part of the museum, the College Game Day Theatre. The 150-seat theatre houses a 40-foot by 10-foot ultra-high-definition screen and features a 10-minute film narrated by Hall of Famers and shot with 4K technology. It's designed to give the viewers the feel of what a game day experience is like. Again, this really wasn't a utilisation of gamification, but it's important to mention nonetheless because of the environment and the feeling of immersion that the museum is trying to create. Think of this video as the introductory video that you find on many video games such as Grand Theft Auto or Until Dawn. The Fan Game Day Gallery was the next exhibit, and this is where things really do begin to get gamified. In this gallery, you can interactively play tradition trivia, a cheerleader challenge, or even design your own marching band routine and see it play out with music. The points that you win from answering these questions from the trivia correctly are added to your school's total points tally, which is displayed on the screen once you complete each quiz. The incentive of playing for your school encourages all of the visitors to take part. Other exhibits within the Fan Game Day Gallery include a kiosk where you can take selfies with digital face paint, a booth where you can record your own play-by-play over an historic college football moment, a fight song karaoke machine, a virtual reality headset that simulates standing at midfield of a stadium while a team runs towards you, and an ESPN College Game Day desk where you can sit on the ESPN Game Day desk and be superimposed in the show. It also features interactive touchscreen panels where Hall of Fame players tell you about their college careers. As you can see in this video, this is what I meant when I mentioned before about the chip reader reading the signal sent out by your lanyard. Then came the Building a Champion Gallery, the part of the museum that's dedicated entirely to the coaches who innovated the game. The best thing about the Building a Champion Gallery is the keys to the play kiosk, where Hall of Fame coaches teach you about an iconic play that they coined. They begin by showing you how the offense is run, and then ask you to drop the exact same play. Drop the play correctly, you get to see your play executed successfully, and the coach will give you positive feedback just like this.
Nice. Correct. Great job. Now let's watch your play in action.
Finally, on the top level of the museum, we get to the actual Hall of Fame, where there are 10 55-inch touchscreen panels. Once again, the chip reader within these panels will immediately call up all of the Hall of Famers from your school and will include information such as photos, highlights, and media interviews of the Hall of Famer. Now, one thing I didn't mention about the RFID lanyard is that once you get home, you can download everything that you saw while you were at the museum. Your profile includes badges that track what you've done and seen in the hall, which means that the more you do and see and interact with within the museum, the closer you are to having completed the tour. Along with this, elements like the game day appearance and karaoke are kept online for 30 days so that visitors can go back and review their experiences. Harron and Goehle both note that allowing users to share badges and accomplishments that they have earned with family, friends, and peers increases the amount of weight the achievements and levels carry with the user. So why does the gamification of the Hall of Fame benefit users and allow them to retain more information than they perhaps would have otherwise? According to Kim, in the popularity of gamification in the mobile and social era, gamification is not quite creating a game, but transferring some of the positive characteristics of a game to something that is not a game, such as a goal, rules, feedback system, and voluntary participation. So let's take a look at how the College Football Hall of Fame checks off all these boxes. Firstly, the goal. Just like I mentioned before, the RFID lanyards encourage visitors to participate in a wide range of activities and interact with various kiosks throughout the museum. The more kiosks and exhibits you visit and interact with is just another level that you can unlock by the end of your trip. Along the way, you're encouraged to get as many points for your school as you can and prove that your fans are the best in the country. Second, the rules. The rules of the museum are very basic. You use your lanyard to interact with as many kiosks within your trip as you can. Third, a feedback system. We briefly touched on this earlier when we mentioned the keys to the game kiosk, but another example of the feedback system is the welcome back text when you approach a new kiosk. And fourth, voluntary participation. Visitors are there because they want to be there. They want to learn about their favourite teams, players, and coaches. Setting up these galleries allow the visitor the best possible way to learn these things and interact with them in a meaningful way. In their case study into the gamification of a university-level game development course, O'Donovan, Game, and Marais contend that good gamification should have special meaning for the user, as well as the ability to inspire the user to master the topic. Whether visitors watch it each week with their families or tailgate with their friends, college football certainly does hold a special meaning for most of those who come through the doors. And for those die-hard fans who just want to prove that they know more about college football than their friends, they are certainly inspired to master the topic. According to Charles and Goehle, gamification gives participants a feeling of acknowledgement and accomplishment, and if you ask anyone who has set foot in the museum since it opened and had to look back at all the badges and points that they earned throughout their visit, they'll tell you that they truly felt like they've accomplished something. When the College Football Hall of Fame opened, its Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Marcus Margerum, told Stark RFID that the Hall of Fame intends to be more than a museum. Its goal is to provide an interactive experience connecting a visitor to his or her favourite team, as well as providing a broad view of the college football scene in its entirety. And that's exactly what they did. I'm Christopher Tyler, thanks for listening.